What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you are, if you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation/reality chat. All right, guys. So you know Carlos King. He's got his podcast and /YouTube channel, and he also has dubbed himself to be the king of reality TV. And I get it. It's like a play on words because his last name is King. He has experience being in reality TV, being a part of I don't know necessarily if it's the production, what his actual role was with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Also, I believe even New Jersey. I think he also had his hand in some stuff with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as well, because he talked about that also. And now he's got his own little babies that he has given birth to by way of, I will always give her the credit whether people like it or not. And this is coming from someone who is not a millimeter, Melody Holt. Because when he was approached by Melody from now Love and Marriage Huntsville about a reality TV show, she wanted to do it based on real estate and African-American couples who are in real estate doing their thing in Huntsville, Alabama. But he didn't feel that that was something, well, he said he didn't feel that that was something that was just going to really do well. So what he proposed was something different. And it's the love and marriage theme, right? Because he's used to drama. He even has dubbed, this term that say yes to the mess, because he is definitely indeed messy. And although he did not cause the issues in Melody's marriage, that is no longer, as well as the trash buckets of marriages that are on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And in my opinion, at this point in time, just seeing everything that I've seen over time, and even as of recent, with Marcel and Maurice, he definitely felt like this was going to be a road that he would be able to go down where it's more his wheelhouse, because the other proposal, I think, with Melody, what she brought to him was going to be more down the line of sort of like HGTV, Magnolia Television, that type of stuff. And that's just not his expertise. He's more he's more experienced in drama. Okay. So yeah, you could have a little bit of drama when you're remodeling homes or you're doing renovations, and then you find out that all of the plumbing needs to be replaced after you buy a home and you want to flip it or whatever, that type of stuff. But that's not the type of drama that he's used to. He is used to the drama when it comes to people flipping tables and fighting and cussing each other out and all that other stuff like that. You rarely see or ever see anything like that on an HGTV show. But anyway, I'm saying all of that right now to say he has been spending a lot of time talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, giving regular reviews, like he's literally doing actual reviews of the episodes. And it's weird to me. At first, it was, I guess, for some people a bit interesting, because they felt like, oh, well, this is someone coming from the perspective of having experienced the background of working on Real Housewives of Atlanta, although he's no longer working with that franchise and no longer even associated with the network. At first, it was kind of interesting just to kind of hear his feedback or his thoughts on that stuff. But now, based on the ratings of his own shows, it just really seems like people are over it when it comes to him doing that. He's got the right to do that if he wants to do it, but people are going to have their thoughts and opinions about it. And one of those people that has an opinion about his sharing of his opinion is Sutton. She is one of the cast members from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I didn't watch a whole lot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills the past several seasons, kind of checked in here and there. I'm familiar with her, but she's an extremely wealthy woman. Caucasian, yes. He made some comments about Kandi and Kenya's relationship, or friendship, shall I say, on Real Housewives of Atlanta. and compared it to Garcelle Beauvais and Sutton Strack, who are both on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to continue with my commentary.
If y'all think for 1 second that the Kandi and Kenya friendship is real, y'all the same ones who think Garcelle and Sutton are besties. Let's talk about it. Y'all know good and dang on well, Sutton will never in real life befriend Garcelle. It's all about the alliance.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there, but you heard what he said. All right. Sutton Strack, she definitely clapped back at him, but this is what I want to say before I get into that. I don't know why he feels this need. Here's the thing. He's never directly responded to Kandi when she came out and said what she said about why she does not speak to him and she doesn't F with him anymore. And he's never directly responded to that. He's made some roundabout comments about it and even sort of insinuated that, listen, unless someone has an issue with me, comes to me directly, I feel like we don't have an issue. Well, he's doing subtle digs like this, talking about Kandi and Kenya not having a friendship. It's more of an alliance. Because I didn't play the entire clip of what he said, but what he did say is that Kandi did not really mess with Kenya initially when they were on the show because she was more loyal to Phaedra. And even though that may be true, what he has to remember is that most of these people who are on these shows were not friends initially. Phaedra got on The Real Housewives of Atlanta before Kenya came on. So Kandi, when Phaedra initially came on the show, Kandi didn't even know Phaedra like that. If you remember that season, she was just starting to get to know Phaedra, just like all of the other women. This wasn't like they were friends, or even definitely they were not besties when Phaedra came on the show. They were getting to know each other and they just naturally gravitated towards each other and became more friendly and considered themselves to be friends. And yes, we definitely know that they had a falling out. But they became friends after the fact, Kandi and Phaedra, and then they had a falling out. So when Kenya and Phaedra had that controversy where Phaedra was accusing Kenya of trying to get with her husband, and Apollo lied. Remember, Apollo apologized to Kenya about that. He lied and said that Kenya was trying to do stuff to him. I'll just leave it at that. And so, yeah, Phaedra was having a problem with this woman that she felt like was trying to interfere in her marriage. And because Kandi knew Phaedra more, she definitely was more loyal to Phaedra at the time. Now, I don't think that Kandi started becoming more friendly with Kenya strictly because she was no longer associating herself with Phaedra or friends with Phaedra. Again, they just started getting to know each other more and more over being on the show together, and they became closer. Just like initially Cynthia and Kenya were not friends. Cynthia couldn't stand Kenya at first, but they naturally became, as they got to know each other, filming the show together and going to events and hanging out outside of being on the show and being filmed, they started to become close, and they have, I feel, a genuine friendship, a genuine connection. So Carlos calling out Kandi and Kenya being fake friends and it's just an alliance, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, Kenya has a problem with Marlo. Yeah, Kandi has a problem with Marlo. They both have problems with Marlo for different reasons, but that is not what pulled them together, because they started becoming friendly towards each other before all of these big blow-up problems that has been coming out on this current season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So saying all of that, with Carlos coming out and making a statement about them not being real friends, I feel is just disingenuous, because he knows that with these reality shows, a lot of these people don't really know each other like that when they come together to film. They're co-workers. Just like on any job, you don't know most of these people that you're working on this job with. Some people you tend to get close with over time, and then you become familiar with them. You may forge a friendship. Some people you don't. So this is really no different. So for him to call it an alliance is insulting. And I believe it's another dig on Kandi because he isn't liking the fact that Kandi called him out. You can let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. But listen, Sutton struck, she's just not here for it. So she came out and she clapped back at what he said.
To be high because Carlos King just said something about you and Garcelle not being real friends. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think that's the most, I don't know who he is, so I don't know, but I do know that I have a very real friendship with Garcelle. We text, we call, we visit, we're going on vacation together this summer. We're really best friends, and I love her so much, and we love our families together and everything, so.
Amazing.
Now, listen, I thought it was kind of funny because the interviewer was at some event. So I guess it was like a little red carpet, and this person is asking Sutton this question. And she said it like when she said Carlos King, she said it like Sutton was actually going to be aware of who he was, just like if this person said, Andy Cohen said, because of course Sutton knows who Andy Cohen is. He is the executive producer of the show that she's actually on, as well as he is the host of the reunion. So obviously the interviewer would say, if she said, I mean, Andy Cohen, Sutton would know who that was. So when this person said Carlos King, she didn't, I guess she just kind of assumed that Sutton would know who he was. And I don't believe that she was being shady because she was being honest. If you look at the video, and I will put, well, it's on Twitter, but I'll put a link to it in the description box so you can just see her facial expression. She kind of rolled her eyes up in a way, not in a way like, oh Lord, here we go again, but it was like thinking like, who is that? So I believe that she was being honest and genuine when she said, I don't know who that is. But again, it's insulting because just like it was insulting for Carlos to say that he didn't believe Kandi and Kenya were real friends. And for those of you who think that they are, you're stupid. And you are, if you believe that, then you must really believe that Sutton and Garcelle are real, genuine friends. That's really insulting because I believe what he meant by that was Sutton being this extremely wealthy Caucasian woman, what would she have to do with this minion in real life, Garcelle? No, she's just being nice to her for the sake of a storyline to be on the show and to garner favor with the fans of Garcelle. That's what he was basically trying to say. And I just feel that that is just insulting. It's really insulting to believe that someone with status, with wealth, who is Caucasian and who may have said some things in the past that may not be seen as kind or favorable, can't change, can't evolve, and can't learn about someone else and forge a friendship with them. That's how you break a lot of barriers. And that's honestly why there is a lot of bigotry, because a lot of people just stay in their bubble and they don't expose themselves to other cultures, other ethnicities, other races, other, things that they didn't grow up knowing. And so they just see anything else that's not like them, that's different, as either beneath them or they hate it or whatever because of how they're taught. So with Carlos making a statement like that, to me, it's almost as stupid as someone who is a bigot. And I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying that it kind of borderline is on that level of being a bigot for him to make a statement like that. I just really felt that that was just uncalled for. And Garcelle, she responded to him, saying that too. But he responded to Sutton saying, did Sutton just Mariah Carey me? Laughing emoji. We need her on my podcast to chat. I love it. No, you're just trying to get this interview with her because you're trying to get more views, of course. No, it's not like, oh, it's just fun shade. It's just light shade. It's like, no, you were saying an asinine comment, and no, you don't deserve an interview with her or Garcelle. Garcelle, she tweeted and she said, this couldn't be more wrong, but I don't have to prove anything. And then Garcelle responded to her tweet saying, if they don't know by now, SMH can't make this friendship up. Best thing that's happened to me in a decade. And to me, that really sounds heartfelt. And it actually goes back to what I said about someone who may have had some thoughts or opinions and views in the past just based on their upbringing, based on their atmosphere, their surroundings, who they've known all their life. And then to get exposed to other people and other things, it causes the mind to shift and to pivot and to open up. So for Carlos to be so closed-minded to say something like that is just absolutely asinine. And it just kind of makes sense as to why his show Love and Marriage Huntsville isn't really getting a lot of the views that it used to get. And he's a producer, so ultimately that, onus lies on him. So I just wanted to talk about this, guys. You let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.